All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? How am I doing? I am doing absolutely awesome. Awesome, awesome. I am staying really strong during this whole divorce thing. I'm staying really strong. So, it's funny, ladies. When you don't care, when you just don't care, it is a good way to just, continue doing what you're doing in your life because you don't care, right? So back in when my husband was in the house with me, he had said, I don't know if I want to stay married. And I had said, what? I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know. Da 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 da. And I'm like, look, if you're not happy, you can get a divorce, right? So I got my petition or proposal yesterday for a divorce and his conditions, which are not happening. They're just not. So when I had confronted him later, he's like, no, I do want to stay married. This guy is very inconsistent. So I'm like, are you sure you want to stay married? I'm sure. There's no one but you. I'm sure. I'm like, okay. So then I get over here. He files for divorce. He takes a tantrum, which is what the narcissist does. He took a tantrum and took a fit um, because he was upset, because he was in his truck instead of doing something about it. So then he did do something about it. A lot of people will not change unless they want to or unless they have to. So he had to make some changes. He now had to start caring about himself, where before he was like, no, I don't want to do the budget. I don't want to do it. So like his mother said years ago, why don't you take some responsibility for your finances? So that's exactly what I did. I made him take some responsibility. I have a sore throat. Hold on. This is like one of my worst times, like, of being sick. This is like me at my worst, which I'm still good. I'm still doing very good. So anyways, so then what happened? Oh, then he says, I'm going to teach you never to say divorce again. I'm going to teach you a lesson. And instead of teaching me a lesson, he's going through with the divorce, right? So he's been up and down through this whole thing, and, he's lied. He's like, he told the judge I left him in his truck, which was untrue. If you follow me, you know all the lies. So number one, I'm not changing my last name. That's in the proposal. That ain't happening, and you cannot force somebody to change their last name. I mean, if you want to change your name while you're married, you can. If you want to hyphenate it, if you want to keep your maiden name, whatever you want to do, ladies, you can do, right, with your name. So that's not happening. And then I called the court today, and they're like, oh, the judge made the decision and mailed something out 2 days ago. And I'm like, really? Because I had just called, and I was told he hadn't made a judgment yet. So looking back at my video from what was it, a day ago? I'm like, what did he do? Make a judgment right after I called? Which seems to be what happened, because they said it was in the afternoon. So he wants a restraining order on me, which I put in. I have a paper here, 2 papers of what I put in yesterday. Restraining order on me for what? He's the one who pushed me. And I told the judge that. He's the one who pushed me. So if anyone needs a restraining order, it is Mr. May who needs one. But I did write that I had spared our sons the drama of seeing their dad arrested when he pushed me. I spared them from that. And, I look back and I'm like, I think that was a mistake. I think he probably should have been arrested, because he said he's sorry and he's really not sorry. Because he acted like everything, I had forgiven him. He acted like everything was water under the bridge. And then he goes and he starts lying about me. And him and Kevin commit perjury in court, saying that that never happened, when there's proof it did. So last night, I put on my Facebook that, his sister basically has mental issues, Carrie Marie May. She has mental issues. Ben knew it from a long time ago. She would go on and on these rants, and you had no idea what she was talking about. And so she just had a breakdown. She didn't take her antidepressants, so she like shaved her head bald. And you know what? That's like a Britney Spears move, right? Unless there's something majorly wrong, women don't go around shaving their whole entire head. So she blamed it on the antidepressants on Facebook, and we now know she's got mental issues, which is wonderful because when she was attacking us on Facebook, saying Ben had a ring in his nose and all this stuff, we were like, what the heck is wrong with her? And then she made up this story that her and Ben were always close. Ben's like, she's in La La Land. We were never close. And so now it came out that she does have mental issues. So she started crap with me on social media. I reposted her mental problems on my Facebook because she does have mental problems, and she actually threatened to have me beaten up. So I let the judge know that too. I let him know that basically, you know, she's the one who started all this. Her and Donna started this whole thing, meddling in my marriage and everything. So we now know she's got mental issues, and it's not to be excused when someone has a mental issue. It's not like, oh, well, nobody's normal, you know? No, it's like take responsibility for your actions, girl. So, what else is going on? Okay, so I talked about that. Oh, I talked about Kevin lying with the U-Haul records, saying he wanted a restraining order, and he made up this huge story that he had just happened to pull out of his driveway and happened to see me in Belmont, New Hampshire, near his road, right? What a coincidence. And out of all the U-Haul trucks in New Hampshire, it just happened to be me next to his house. So we know that he lied about that, and U-Haul records would show that never happened. So, I mean, he should have been thrown out right there for his lying as a Marine, right? And what else? Oh, so I'm basically asking now for a settlement. I'm asking for temporary alimony, life insurance, medical. He left me during a breast cancer scare, in a settlement between $400,000 and $800,000 for what he did, for the damage he did. I'm asking that he covers the evil man would cover my car, because he, as a mechanic, would not change my oil as a mechanic because he was ticked off because I brought a car. And that was the first car I ever brought for myself. Although he's had many vehicles, he didn't like that I got one, right? So I'm asking for that to be covered. I talked about how Kevin basically called who I was using, Elizabeth Barrett. I was going to use her as my as my attorney, and he called her while she was on vacation. So I'm only dropping that name right here, because that's what happened. And there was a lot of stuff that happened that I didn't have representation. So what else? Oh yeah, irreconcilable differences is not true. He actually abandoned us. I'm talking about that. I asked for reconsideration. He's misused marital assets. We're still married. I haven't seen any money. And then what else? Storage has not been separated, as Kevin tries to say. Ben actually took liberty to take what he wanted, and it looked like I kind of could sense already that he was taking stuff for him. You know, I could kind of see it coming. And then, you know, he has my son's drums. He never paid for that. What else? Oh, yeah, Kevin wants to say, if any party continues fighting this, we're going to add attorney fees. Well, Kevin isn't an attorney, right? So I don't know where he gets off saying that. Back alimony, $120 does not cover, and on it goes. So that's what I'm doing, guys.